All right, thank you for staying with us. The conversation continues now, and it's about the sad social vices. One might want to say is not entirely new, and that's correct. But in the past few weeks, few months, we've been seeing rise in the spate of killings, and be it court killings, be it killings that has to do with a jealous lover, and especially killings that has money ritual motivation, especially among young people. And when you check the age or ages, 17, 19, 20, 21, very, very young persons, snuffing life out of their fellow, sometimes lover, at times friends, colleagues, even in schools, just because they think they have an idea of making money quickly. And this is very, very saddening. And one is the case that went viral last week of a particular young man who, said he spoke to a lady and then relayed her, killed her, tried to, cut some part of the body just because he said he met somebody on another social media platform who gave him an information, about how to go about these things that has to do with the killing of another person. We have some gentlemen in the house who will be speaking to these issues. But so that you have an idea of this case study we are talking about, we take this quick video. Stay with us.
Maybe they come and change your what? After that, they will kill me.
They tie the hand and the leg.
You are a good one.
I'm the only one.
No, this cannot be only you.
So I didn't confess. You said she confessed. I stay every time.
This cannot be your work alone.
I said to God. Come. If they raise there now, you will see the private part. They don't come out. Sir, they didn't move anything. Sir, I swear to God.
Hey, how many people did you kill?
See, they even put cloth for your mouth.
You are who killed this girl?
I'm the only one. I swear to God. Sir,
What did you use in killing her?
I strangled her.
Strangle her to death.
Yes, sir.
Why? Why?
They don't come out the womb. Yes. Sir, I swear to God, the womb.
Okay, wait. Why did you kill her?
No, they will raise it now. The doctor will raise it. I told you.
No, you told me everything. Thank you, but there is more to this. There's a body here before.
There's another body.
Oh, what and what? What and what? Which part of her? What and what did you remove from her body?
Sir, I swear to God, I didn't remove anything. I swear to God.
Okay, why did you kill her?
Joe, why did you remove anything?
Sir, I told you now.
Why did you kill her?
I don't have to escape. That's why
Huh?
can you see my face?
Why did you kill her?
I kidnapped her. Like I told you. You're gonna give doctor a chance to pass. She was trying to escape. So she already see my
Where
face.
did you kidnap her from?
She know you before? No.
Where did you kidnap her from?
I brought her here.
Where did you carry her from?
From that gas station side.
Gas station, where you carry her?
Yes, sir.
How did you get her contact?
I met her.
You met her where?
She was going home towards that side, but I don't even know where her house is.
Very, very gruesome murder of, the deceased has been named to be Jamilola Olowoyo, a 19-year-old 100-level student of the Federal University Law College, and the principal suspect who spoke there is Jeremiah Paul. By the way, interesting Bible character names, and that's his principal suspect. And you so heard what he said. And this is not the first. We are concerned. You are concerned. We know many agents are concerned. And we'll be speaking to these gentlemen that we have with us here, young men in their own right as well. Tunde Omole is the executive president, Garnet Youth Development Foundation. Tunde, thank you for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah. And John Diafolarin is a digital communications expert as well. And I have to put let me give him his accolade, an influencer, but he's saying he's not. But thank you, John, for joining us.
Thank you very much, Femi. Thank you.
Yeah, let me start with Tunde. You've been on this program. We've spoken about something similar to this before. You're a young person, relatively so. You work with young people from different backgrounds. How did you, by the way, number one, how did you receive this sad news, by the way, this information, and how did you think we got here?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's good to be here again. And thank God when you are talking about being young, you put it relatively.
because according to Nigerian constitution, I'm no longer a young person, but I work with young people.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely, you know, the last time I was in the studio, we talked extensively as regard the get rich quick syndrome. That
Social
is
vices, yeah.
actually pervading our society now, that is permeates everywhere. And you can't rule out the possibility of the fact that most of the so-called role models, most of the so-called leaders, in quotes, politically or otherwise, and the impression they give to us these days is that money is everything. And I told you when I came to this program that there's an area that we are not trying to really work on, which is the area of entertainment space. Go and listen to all the lyrics of the trending artists in Nigeria. Is there any? I'm pretty sure you are not a millennial. Maybe you too. Maybe you more past that stage. I'm pretty sure you won't understand anything they are saying. It doesn't make any sense. It's all about money, wine, champagne, cars, women. So all those things have been standardized. So everybody really wants to belong and be in that space. So all these things they are registered in the subconscious of all these Gen Z and the millennials. They believe that the main thing that can happen to anybody, and it's a process. Over the time, you know, we hold our value system in a very high esteem. With the religious leaders, they still preach this gospel according to the scripture. It's not all the motivational speakers we have around, all those orators that call themselves the men of God. When you go to CSA, where I was growing up in the hinterland of Ijesha land, you wouldn't want to greet people by the time you are going back home, or you don't want to enter your fire. Everybody will be telling you how to make money now, how to talk to your wife, how to do everything. Where is the content? And those where, at least when you realize that maybe in political space you are not finding the moral, you go to the place of worship, be it Isheshe, be it Muslim, be it Christianity, you still get, but it's no longer there. And those are supposed to be, and look at even the journalism and broadcasting. I'm wondering that at this level, you guys are consistent about you being a social change. You are doing strategic behavioral change communication here, and which I appreciate you guys for that.
Thank you.
Bunch of the trending programs on conventional broadcasting houses or whatever now, it's all about showbiz. It's all about one to decade that doesn't have anything to do. I'm sorry I'm mentioning it. Yeah. It's all about one riffraffs that they have glorified to an
showbiz have always been existing for years.
But
for years.
The content then is quite different. Go and listen to all those old songs. Go and listen to all those sitcoms we used to watch back. They preach morals. They tell you the essence of hard work. They tell you your responsibility to society. If you still listen to, I was listening to one Collington when he was talking about censors. These guys, they are vast, they are learned, they know what is happening in their present society. How many of our artists is talking about censors?
So essentially, because of time, I had to brought in there, entertainment, the negative vibes from entertainment is playing a huge factor, at least for you.
Predominantly.
You talked about the place of worship as well. Yes. Maybe there is a change in the message. You know, interesting and sadly as well, the principal suspect bears Jeremiah Paul. So for you to see the first name and the last name, it gives you a sense of maybe he's from a religious, home, so to speak. Mr. Fulari, do you agree with that position?
Yeah,
What would be your submission?
I agree. But I also like to add that, okay, yes, for every action there is a cause. We all are responsible, not just the entertainment space alone. The moment we shifted from, okay, measuring success with material wealth, that's where the problem started from. From the homes, the churches, the mosques, the streets. If you don't have money, you are not relevant. So in a bid to measure up with this, that's why a lot of these youths are engaging in all these mindless killings. So I'll just add that we all need to come together accept this blame together, reorientate ourselves, and take actions. How do we address this?
Sorry, Afolarin, before Evelyn will call me, do you find this surprising? He's a 20-year-old.
It's not surprising.
What kind of mind can a 20-year-old have? And you could see the face. It's looking like this is not a first time thing. Like no shivering, no nothing.
You see, these upcoming guys, they are more brutal than the ones on the street already. Just imagine a student of SS1 thinking about buying the latest Benz. I'll be like, I've left secondary school since 2008, 2009. I'm still driving a Corolla. I'm not even thinking of upgrading it because of the current fuel issue. But you see these people in secondary school now, Yoruba people will say, "Oju want to gunju awata ti dagba die vailo." So I don't think it's surprising. So we just have to come up with various strategies to address the issue.
All right, so I'll just move to Tunde. You know, yes, you have been able to establish that the morals that we had back then is no longer what we have now with, the kids and the teenagers growing up. But have you considered if we are not paying attention to their growing up, parents back then were available for their kids. They were in the lives of their kids. You had a mother probably who was a school teacher and she closes by 2:00. She goes back home to attend to her kids. You have a father who was not absent in the life of their kids. Even if they were absent, the mother was there. But today, we are both men and women trying to, get up to the ladder in their career. Everyone is trying to make a name for themselves. You have nannies who take care of these kids, and the parents are no longer there.
Some are trying to make ends meet. Right?
And the parents are no longer in the lives of their children. Do you consider this a probable cause? Not really about morals, but because we now have absentee parents in the life of their children.
Yeah, you can't rule out that possibility. That's actually the bedrock of every society. Family unit is very key. But nevertheless, I still maintain the stance that the influence of not being contented is actually part of it. Way back then, apparently we went to the best school. I keep telling people that I don't compete with anyone, even at this level. I went to local authority primary school. My parents, they were humble enough. I remember way back then, rice was a luxury. You eat it on Sundays or possibly maybe on Easter and whatever. Nobody is competing with anyone. We were contented with wherever we were, and we are living a good life. Nobody wants to drive the latest car. Everybody. It's good to be ambitious. It's good for you to really want to climb the ladder. But the fabric of the society.
But do you, sorry to butt in here, but do you think the reason why you were contented back then was because you had respect from society, even though your parents had respect from society, even though they were not, rich in quote. But nowadays, the respect, you don't get that respect from society unless you have some monies to throw around.
It's the outcome of what we have been through over the time. That's why people value material things over value. I don't know if you get that concept. If we were somewhere before, we were contented, society was running, people were going to school and everybody was fine, nobody was competing with anyone. And at some point, we realized that. And another key area that we're not looking at is actually the area of political leadership. Now, a bunch of, I remember way back then, and they could pick anybody to come and become a councillor. As long as you are very respected in society, you are committed, you might not have a farthing. You go there, nobody is taking any money from anybody because I want to vote for you. People will line up behind NRC, SDP, and they will do head counts, operation, or whatever. And they record you that you are. But nowadays, for you getting councillorship tickets, you have to pay through your nose. Then you have to appear like a big man for people to expect you. Now we are talking about the outcome. We are talking about the resultant effect. But how did we get there? It's over the time.
So if somebody needs to appear big, you need to, have money to throw around, really, because it's more like we are shifting the blame to the society entirely and the family unit. leaving out the persons, individuals themselves. Can't you work and have the money? People are working and having money,
People are working.
and then wait till you have enough to throw around.
Fine. I don't know how to really put these concepts in
Because
in
it seems
way
like
where
we're exonerating
we are not
the suspect and these criminals and these
can you
people who are
take-
not contented
Can you take
and saying it's the society that's making them to do
okay?
it.
Let me ask you one question. How come our people, when they get to America or advanced country, they obey all the rules and regulations there, and when they get there, immediately from the airport, we start breaking our rules? Are they not the same person that migrated from one society to another? The prevailing circumstances that we have is that, one, we have a breakdown in our morals as regards our political space. We have it from home. In entertainment space, almost everybody now, they have access to Android. They can read everything. What is a global village? Now I can learn from you. Instead of us actually leveraging on that bunch of the people. You see some of those guys in Lekki, you see them everywhere. You see most of, even in Ibadan, even in this social group, some people they are using new media to actually trade, to do a lot of things, and they are making a lot of money. You will think they are Yahoo people. They have money. They are doing well for themselves. But you realize that the acceptance of the new media space, the acceptance of being in a global village, in our own climate, is for crime, is for getting rich quicker. And we love so much luxury without working. One guy was talking to me recently. We were having a conversation. And maybe he felt that maybe I'm one of those people that rate people based on whatever. He was talking to me how they ball at one club. And they drank this, I don't want to mention,
Exactly,
so I won't be giving.
Exactly.
So they drank all these things, champagne, and one bottle was 80,000 naira. Me, as I think, 80,000 naira. I know how much widow die in my DMs every now and then that they just need whatever. I told somebody one day, I said, all those things that World Bank used to say that some people are living $1 below
Less than
$1 per day is a reality, is their life, is their reality.
All right.
So when you go to, sorry, let me make this one. When we go to a place, we did a research somewhere, we go to Ina, they are eating the same bread that you are eating. Only that we use return bread. The long bread, if they are selling it for you for 100 naira, they will sell it for them 30 naira when they return it. They buy rikosho, they dig their teeth, they buy pomo and do ilarache, but they are living their life. Their father is an Okada rider. They will come back, they will go to public school, and at some point they were giving them lunch at school. Even if those kids, they are sick at home, their parents will go to school and collect the lunch for them to eat. So we can still live a contented life without really going into crime and still be fine as a society.
All right. Let me come to Afolari on this point. Entertainment, you can't take entertainment away from social media. In your own right, respectively, you are a voice around here, and with what you do with your organization as well. People have said social media is the evil, is the one propelling people to see what they should not see or to have access to what they should not have access to. So I'm putting it to you because you talked about entertainment. This entertainment is social media. Yeah, people are doing a lot. Is it really an evil? Like people are just there and it's something that's staring them at the face, so they must just be part of it.
Yeah, you see, for everything that has an advantage, there must be a disadvantage. Why we are saying social media is because back then there was no social media, so most of these things were not closer to the people. But with the introduction of social media, it's now closer, and that's why we have to blame social media. And also, I would say, okay, when you said something about contentment the other time, we are not talking about the pressure that comes from every angle. You see a young boy, I want to read, I want to do this. The parents will be telling you, see your friend is already driving a Mozu Camry. We will say, back and go and ask him what he is doing and do it. So now coming back to social media, there are some people that what they do on social media is, what is this guy doing? Ashoba Elowo is wearing this type of clothes, using this type of wristwatch. I also work hard to, but work hard in that context is not do something that is legit. Is to find money by all means to do what they are saying on social media. So it's now left for us as humans to decide, okay, this is what I want to consume on social media, because we have an array of options there, a lot of content on social media. So it's for you to make a conscious decision. Okay, this is what I want to consume, because whether you like it or not, every day you wake up, you see people doing videos of, okay, there was even a video of yesterday, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, a child of 3 years old telling his father, "Daddy, I want Bentley." The dad wanted to take him to school with a car. The child said, "Okay, I want Bentley." I was like, you telling your father that you want Bentley. Okay, well, so things like that, you see
And
some
the father
people,
obliged.
yeah, definitely. So you see things like this and you be like, what kind of
But
parenting
somebody
is
might
this?
say because he has the choice, he was saying it. So,
Sorry for cutting it there.
yeah.
If you see that kind of video, where you will know that we have moral issue, go and check the comments.
I was about saying that
Because
too.
outrightly, you are supposed to like, from where we are coming from. What's all this?
You are going to make
Go
it.
on.
So I was like, okay, I now check the comments. All right, 80% of the comments, they were in support of what the young boy did. I was like, wow.
But do you think this has to do with the level of content creation that we have going on? Everybody wants to create content just to get the clicks and for the money. So you see people bring out contents that are even fictitious, but everybody thinks, oh, it's real. People bring out stories that are not true just for the clicks, and people get on, teenagers get on, and they think, oh, it's real, it's true, and they buy that story, hook, line, and sinker. So do you think it has to do with the issue of everyone wanting to be a content creator with whatever it is? People are creating content with their newborns, they're creating content with their personal lives, people are creating content with their jobs. Everybody just wants to put their own content out there just for the clicks and the money.
Yes, I'm in support of that, because you see, social media validation is one thing people are living on now. I want people to see this, I want people to be happy with me. So that's why you see someone going to the toilet, uploading videos of his journey to the toilet. So things like that, I don't think there's a way we can rule it out, because you said for the money too. Money is involved for some people. So they just need the clicks, they need the engagement. So it's just for us to make conscious effort to make sure we do the right things.
Social media regulation, the government once hinted at wanting to go into that. Do you think it will do us a lot of good if the government regulates social media? They regulate some content like this that we can call vices and hate speech and whatever.
At the time, they even said they wanted to be vetting.
So do you think that would help?
It will really because in Nigeria we don't do much with discipline, and anything that is not regulated is bound to be abused. So for social media, it needs to be regulated to some extent, because you see people just come up, type anything unverified, and before you know it, it's amplified. You see 1,000 retweets. You now come back later, it's a lie. You see that follow-up tweet, it won't get anywhere. So it needs to be regulated to some extent.
Who draws the line? Because it was regulated at some point. Twitter was banned.
Yes.
And people said maybe there are reasons then. So if government goes through the regulation, to what extent?
You see, that would be a very big question, because the government is also using social media, and they use it for two things, for the positive and for the negative. So to regulate it, I'm sure they will do what's work for them.
All right.
What about you, Tunde? What do you think? Social media regulation, do you think it's something that Nigeria should consider, considering what we have in our hands now?
Yeah, like you said, in this space now, when you give people free hands about stuff, there's every tendency that they abuse it. So it's in line, but it has to be contextual, because you have to look at it critically. For what purpose? The last time I think they regulated Twitter, then it was all about maybe political.
Exactly.
It was politically motivated. But if in true essence of it, they actually want to get it done, I know they know what to remove, what to add. They're not that one. Okay, as I'm saying you now, you're a very beautiful woman. Yeah, I'm not really seeing your body. I'm seeing the content. I'm seeing your comportment. I'm seeing your maturity. I'm seeing how you are skilled in what you do. Anything you click on now is all about yash. It's only about books.
We have to
We shouldn't say that. But I understand what you're saying.
But that brings me to the question. Earlier on, you mentioned entertainment, that what youths of today consume, it's all about vices, all about alcohol, all about sex. But back then, when Nigerians listened to artists that were not Nigerians, foreign artists, you still hear this kind of lyrics. They still talk about sex, talk about, wine and
Drugs.
drinking and drugs and all of that. But that did not, they talked about money too, the likes of Snoop Dogg and what have you. But that did not really turn youths into what we have now. So where's the disconnect?
And when you were talking about foreigners. I've never seen Snoop Dogg in my life. He might be living in.
But people listen to him. Nigerians listen to him.
Yes, how many people could actually relate with Amomo Abolo and stuff? How many people could listen to Fino and understand and have a grasp of what Fino is saying? How many people will listen to Davido and say, okay, and I can see them, I can walk on the street and actually see them. And we are experiencing the same culture. We are experiencing the same thing. We are moving in the same environment. So Whiskey used to be, somebody was even saying that he did this, then they chased him away from school. People knew how the guy grew up.
Okay.
Then over the time, the guy just blew.
So you're saying these people are now closer to the youth, so they can learn
Yes,
from them.
then we are seeing them in us. I'm seeing you in me. We share almost common heritage. There was a time that somebody that is very close to me is a lecturer. He said she was just talking unconsciously, telling all these Gen Z population in her class that I believe strongly one of these days you guys are going to get married and raise your family. Immediately there was uproar in the class. She was now saying, what's going on? What's going on? She said, by the time she looked at all of them and said, no, I want to be a baby mama. Those ones said, no, baby daddy, I can't put a lady in the house and they will be stressing my life.
Interesting.
That's the culture now.
Yeah, by the
And
way,
who are those guys promoting being baby mama? They are artists.
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
some of them, and they are their role model. Some will see you on the streets now, they might not even greet you. Let one of their star pass, they will be melting, they will be crying. So it showed the influence of the entertainment space on this generation. And they want to live the way they are living. And they set the space.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want us to zone it down to Gen Z thing. I'm not a Gen Z, by the way, but many of them. But let's speak to this issue. I'd like to flip it over. This case in question, the suspect, Paul, he said, I came to Kogi State to hustle. By the way, hustling. I met Damilola last Sunday. I approached her and she accepted. We started chatting. I already had it in mind that I wanted to use Damilola for ritual. I bought codeine and Sprite and mixed it up and gave it to her. I first drank it so that she wouldn't suspect it. When she drank it, I told her to let us go to my house and she agreed. When she felt weak, I took her to an uncompleted building close to my place and strangled her to death. The clothes she was wearing, I used it to tie her leg and neck. I later dragged her to a nearby bush and removed what the native doctor told me to remove. Now, many questions are there. You could see in that video that we played, if actually we can have it again, we might not be able to take the audio. One of those guys with the idea was saying, this action of yours presupposes that you are not doing this alone, or possibly you are experienced. This can be a first timer. The way you have said it, it was premeditated. You went from a place to another place. You knew what to sedate her with, codeine and a particular drink, and then you gave it to her. And then she said, I saw her on Saturday. I spoke to her. She agreed. She came to my house. Let's speak to, on the street, they call it, they will say everybody needs to have sense and wisen up. And I'm taking it to how the female gender, young girls are now becoming like, endangered species. Like they are easily preyed upon. What has happened? To the young girls, you see some called Pablos and the Pablets. You know the Pablets, the girlfriends of the Pablos. Hey, the Pablo is not the one in Colombia. You know what I'm talking about. Now, these are the issues. Like, what has happened to the value of the young ladies? That is like they are. Yes, we have, of course, virtuous ones, skilled ones. Of course, see one here. Now, these are some of the issues. Like they are easily attracted. Just at the tap of a finger, they are gone and they are being used every day. Afolari.
Yeah, you see, morality.
Unfortunately, we don't have a lady on this set. But what has really happened?
Yeah, you see,
as an analyst,
morality is now done in this part of the world. in the sense that what used to be obtainable before is no longer obtainable. For instance, when you meet someone today, you give it time before you even get to see.
We even do shakara. This
Hey,
I met on Saturday. She came to my house. What's happening?
coming to sleep. Abi? So just imagine, you see, there's this peer pressure among them. Okay, my friend, she has a boyfriend. I need to have someone too. But there's a way they are supposed to do these things. Give it time. Value yourself, the way you carry yourself.
Yeah.
So value is very important, and that is what is missing now. When they reach out to them, they feel, okay, this is an opportunity to explore. And that's why you see, so that's why you see them, they go to any lengths. People even go as far as leaving Oshobo to Abuja, to everywhere, just because they want to go and meet their supposed newfound love, which is not supposed to be. So our value is missing. So we need to bring that back. I think that's the issue we have.
All right, from the girl child or from the female, let's speak to the issues pertaining to the male. Someone once said that if we do not have violent males, then our females will be safe, irrespective of whether they want to jump at money, they want to jump at their first love. They say when someone is bad, he is bad.
Yeah.
If you give it time, if the girl says, "Oh, I want to give it time," okay, I want you to chase me for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. Whatever is in the mind of that guy to perpetuate, he would definitely one day.
That's
do
why
it.
even said he
So,
has always wanted.
Tunde, this is my question to you. How do you think we can make our male gender, the men, the guys, the
Call him
teenagers,
boys.
the boys,
Yeah.
how do you think we can get to them? You work with youths.
Yeah.
Get to them to know that, the female gender is one to be protected, is one to be preserved, is one to care for, not one to be violent against, to kill, beat, or maim.
Sorry, I've been working with this demographic for over 20 years, so I understand them pretty well. And I'm an advocate of girl child in whatever education, lifestyle, professionalism, and STEM, and the rest. And nevertheless, and while you were talking earlier, you said maybe they want to go to Abuja to find their new fund lover. It's a new fund money. It's not all about love now. It's about money. And
But we've heard or learned of girls that fell in love with this person and think, oh, this person has my interest at heart, and this guy has other ulterior motive, to perpetrate against this lady. This lady is not all about the money. If she fell in love with this guy, she felt, oh, I'm over 18, I can date. So how would you speak to that?
Okay, let's narrow it down to that now. We know that our society is patriarchal in nature, whether we like it or not. A bunch of the things we do, we give accolades to men. And I have to blame parents to some extent. And they are breeding young girls with very low self-esteem. They want girls to see themselves as being a sub-zone to the patriarchal arrangement that we have, which is not too good. So I believe strongly that what we can do is just for us to do, like you said, value reorientation, ensure that our female, they have exposure to what makes them who they are, that they are special beings. Yeah. But at the same time, at times we blame men for a lot of things. And we have to look at some things holistically too. Or somebody, if any lady wants to talk to you now about maybe a failed home or anything, number one thing that they will say is that the guy was beating me. And an average person, if you tell a guy that he's beating a lady, you see that man as an animal. But in most cases, do you realize that in our society these days, most people don't even know how to communicate in a way that won't bring out or push the other person to the wall? I've seen a situation, let me shock you. Since this thing just happened to me a couple of days ago, I was looking for a particular name on my phone. I now saw a name of a lady that I've not talked to in 10 years. She came, she wanted to start an NGO then. Somebody recommended one big person that knows what I do. Right. Then recommended. So I just saw that name. I said, I've not talked to this woman for a long time. I just said, hi. And I spoke to the person I wanted to speak to with the hope that if she responded, then I would talk to her. I want to be sure if she's still in the country, because I know the husband was outside here then. The next thing this lady was going to say was that I couldn't read that verbatim, that what happened to my cousin. I said hi to someone and I couldn't even follow up, and I did this, that I'm an idiot, I'm stupid. I should learn as an adult, I should learn how to communicate.
Okay.
I just look at it that. And if you realize at the end of the day, I'm not saying every single moms are like that. I'm not saying every ladies are like that. At times, we forget the fact that we preach feminism. We forget the fact that we are coming from somewhere. We're Africans. We are not Igbo. I learned new sexual orientation a couple of days back. They said, Kylie Jenner said, maybe one of the Kardashians, she said she's autosexual. It's a new sexual orientation. We've had about homosexual, we have about...
So you say there are reasons why people do what they do.
So they do what they do. So let's not pin it that there was a time we were doing...
But no reason should be good enough to
we are not preaching violence. You don't get it.
We have to go, that's why. We are just taking...
That's not the context. So I'm just driving at something. On that note, guys, must somebody be violent? If you know that you have any relationship with anyone and it's not working, walk away. Then young people, why do... Maybe that guy is 18 years or 19.
20.
The one that happened in Ibadan, they were friends. The eldest was 16 and they went to meet an alpha and they said they want to make money ritual. And the other guy, the 14-year-old guy that followed them, they made him the sacrifice for the
now,
and the others.
I'll take this as your parting shot. I think what Evelyn was trying to say the other time is, who mentors the boys? Because in the homes, girls will be told to stay in the kitchen, the boys will watch TV, and you have to domesticate it, you have to respectful. For the men, it's about go and make money, and after you make money, you can choose any woman that you want. Who trains the boys in 15 seconds? Mentorship.
Father.
So that we don't end up with...
The father are not there again. Father are supposed to be the one to train. Even mother now, these days, even to train girls is even difficult because, like you said, they want to hustle. They want to make ends meet. So father should be the one. But nobody wants to take responsibility again.
Yeah, I take it as your parting shot as well. There used to be time that we have a Tunde. I'm not talking about the negative ones. Big uncles that if you misbehave, once they tell about that Tunde, you are done for. What happened to that mentorship thing that you have a big brother in the area who must not hear that you are misbehaved?
Community parenting.
I was talking about that too. Because you see, the moment we shifted from community parenting, the problem started. We still need to go back to that part.
But it's 2024. Everybody is minding their business.
You see, the problem is even more complex.
Yeah.
You see, when people now build their houses, even before they complete the house, they already fenced it. That was not the issue then. Your neighbor can beat your child then.
Yeah.
But the moment everything has changed, okay, you are now on your own, that's where the problem is. We now need to go back and bring back all these values.
All right.
All right. It was, a wonderful conversation with you both in the studio this morning to speak to social voices and how we can train our teenagers, how we can train the boy child, the girl child to become better human beings in the society. Right. Thank you so much, Tunde Omole, for coming on the show. Tunde is Executive President, Garnet Youth Development Foundation. Thank you for your time this morning. And of course, John D. Afolari, pronouncing that as John D. John D. Ohiolei, thank you so much. John is a digital communication expert and an influencer. It was wonderful having you in the studio this morning.
So good to be here.
And that's the conversation today. Of course, we'll make a return tomorrow for another interesting take. Until then, ensure to teach your children how to become responsible citizens of the country, and not just only them, but also to look out for others. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei. Spring Trends comes up next after this broadcast.
Of course, thank you. We'll make a return for the TGI edition tomorrow. Thank God it's Friday. Femi Ojo is my name, and I dare tell young people, this is an admonition, not a shade. Have sense.